All right, today I want to solve a very common problem with those of you guys who have CPU fluctuations. You maybe struggle a little bit with your market replay or your live trading, and you're wondering why your stuff is spiking a little bit on your CPUs, and you're wondering, hey, why is my CPU not quite stable enough? I've got two things that we're going to show you. Some things I've already shown you in another video on the performance settings for your power options. I'm going to show that right now. So right here, you'll notice I'm on power saver. You might be like, Vinny, didn't you tell us that we don't want to be on power saver? Well, yes, but I want to point this out. Some of you guys have the same problem that I do when you do a Windows update. Windows updates likes to go back and put you on power saver mode. So check that first. If you start having issues, very first thing, please go check to make sure that you are set back to high performance, or if you're on a later machine, you might have this ultimate performance that I have because I'm on a gaming system with that option. Now, you may have a different motherboard and things, so you may have some options that you may not have that available. But let me show you what happens, because right now I'm on that power saver mode. Notice right here, my speed was just at 376, down in the 376s. That's not good, right? I'm paying for, upwards of way over 4.5. We want to be somewhere in the 4.8 to 5.2 range most of the time for some of our high-end machines. That's going to give us the most out of it. I'm trying to watch this speed right here fluctuate. Let's see if we get another fluctuation here while I'm talking to you. But what we want to see, like right now, mine's probably pretty stable because I'm running OBS, which is a recording app. And there we go. So you see how it's dropping down about 1,000 hertz there. Now that doesn't seem like very long right now, and it's not troublesome here. But in your scenario, you're going to have multiple seconds at a time where that is dropping down on you to save power there. It went again, dropped down all the way down to 3 gigahertz. That is a bad problem for you if you're trying to trade, because with the way that our data load works, you might have a very big spike in the morning at the morning open, and you might have some volatility around 10 a.m. and things, but in between you might have these lulls. Well, your machine is going to be constantly revving this down on you, okay? So that's one thing. The power saver mode really pushes that very fast to do that. However, even if you are on high performance mode, which I'm going to switch it into right now, and click OK, this should stabilize here, but we're still going to get these fluctuations. Instead of it being like very dramatic, like half of it, they're doing up to 2,000 hertz drops. This might be only like 500 or so, but even then I don't want that. So if you're seeing yourself fluctuate, I'm going to show you guys a couple of quick little trips. No, we're going to be doing some quick tips here on how to fix that. All right, so I'm going to move this over here to the right here for a moment. And I also want to use this example here to show you something about understanding your CPU cores and how NinjaTrader is going to work internally. According to NinjaTrader's internal documentation, if you are going to be doing a multi-core system, it will use multi-core now, but it is 1 per instrument. So if I've got, in this case, I've got like 20 cores on this system here on a 10900K, if I'm only going to be using a few of these at a time because I'm trading 4 instruments, well, then I'm only going to be using these 4 right here, right, in general. Now they may be spread out, but I'm just saying, just getting for example purposes. So that means I've got a lot of other cores available that may not be doing anything. Now if I'm doing other tasks, like I've got Chrome open or OBS recording, things of that sort, that's fine, because all of that isn't going to be, put into the threads that need to be put here for NinjaTrader. However, I don't want these to fluctuate. I want these to stay up there at the super high speed at 4.9. I don't want those fluctuating, because as soon as the market speeds up really fast, I want it already at its peak so that I don't have those lulls, right? So in order to kind of trick the system to do this, here's a little trick that I'm going to tell you about. What I want to do is essentially get some of these cores active, where they will already be pulling the CPU, constantly doing some kind of processing, so that there's no lulls in our speed and our action that's coming into our PC. So think about this. What I want to do is I want to keep some of these active. So how can I do that? Well, I can run some other applications. Now, you need an application that's going to be constantly calling to the CPU. So, need to think about it. Now, in my example here, I'm going to show you, I'm going to launch Battlefield 3, which is a lightweight game because it's an older game. It's over, 12 years old or so by now. And so this is a lighter weight game. And so I may have this over in a windowed mode. Now, I'm not going to play it in, have it in full screen mode, but what I can do is I can shrink up this game, right, that I know it's going to be pulling processing power. So one of these processors is servicing the stuff going on in Battlefield. So I might want to put this off on the side, and just simply by having Battlefield open, this is going to force my CPU speed to basically stay up. This is my live version here. So one of these cores is going to be staying up. So no matter what, I'm going to be constantly having the high speed because it's constantly being called to, so that any given moment, if my 4 processors here that are running NinjaTrader are going to be called, this is going to keep that up there. So that is our tip there. So there's your 2 tips. Number 1, make sure that you check your power saver mode, that it's not in power save mode. Make sure it's on high performance or ultra. Number 2 is if you really want to stabilize that core clock speed, that you want to do that by launching a game. And I want to talk about one more thing. Number 3 on the list here is to make certain that you understand that it is speed, core speed over core count. Okay, I don't really want, you know, there's some people saying, well, what if I buy this AMD? It's got 64 processors. Yes, but it's 64 processors running at like 2.9 gigahertz, right? Again, I'm not saying that's yours, but I'm just going examples. Which one do I want more of these, or do I want a few of these? It's quality over quantity. Please make certain that you are focused on speed if you're trying to maximize what we're doing here with our NinjaTrader operations using AlgoBox. With our system, you want to make sure that speed over core count. If you guys have any questions on that, pop them over in the chat box. Hopefully that's helpful to you and you enjoyed those tips. I'll catch you on the next one.